This segment of Showcase is brought to you by ACAC, and we are here at the Short Pump location. I don't know if you can see what this little thing is, but it's one of the coolest inventions to help you focus on your health. I've got Ed with us who's going to show us exactly what it's for. At this time of year, it feels like people are focused on what they look like in a bathing suit, but it's really not just about the physical appearance. It's really about the health of a person, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so tell us what this magical thing is and exactly what this means on helping us determine more about our health.
Well, this really cool little device is called a VO2 Master. And what a VO2 Master does is it helps us do metabolic testing for all of our members here at the club. Metabolic testing is kind of an overall term, and basically it tells us how hard our bodies are working.
Okay.
And what we want to know is how hard our bodies work both while exercising, but also at rest. And this thing can help us measure exactly what those numbers are, rather than guessing by what a watch may tell us or a wearable of some sort.
Right. Now, what does that mean when you're resting versus when you're active? What does that say about our fitness levels?
That's a very good question. So the VO2 max is the measurement that we're getting for our activity levels. Mm-hmm. In our VO2 max test that we do with this test, it tells us how fit we are cardiovascularly, how efficient we are at using oxygen while we're exercising.
Okay.
And that's what this device does. It measures the amount of oxygen going in as well as the amount of oxygen going out. And by giving us those numbers, we're able to determine how fit you are.
Important, okay.
Yeah, absolutely important. And at rest, it's very important. We do what's called an RMR test, and what RMR means resting metabolic rate. And so that's how many calories you burn in a day just to be you. If you're just going to lay on the couch, how many calories it takes for your heart to beat, for your lungs to work, for your stomach to digest food, that sort of thing. That's a really important number to know, because that helps us determine how many calories we need to take in a day to be healthy, to keep our metabolism healthy, to keep our engine running, as you know.
And those are different for different people, so this is going to be a
Absolutely.
test so that you can actually find out for your own personal body.
For your own personal body. That's the only drawback to it. A lot of us have our fancy smartwatches, and these watches will tell us what our VO2 max is and that kind of stuff, but it's really a guesstimation. That is just a general number that they've gotten from some data that's been accumulated over the years. When you do a VO2 test or an RMR test, it is data that is specific to you. We know exactly how much oxygen you are burning as an individual and exactly what your heart rate is and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you're going to show us how this works. Thank you for volunteering with us today.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Lindsay's going to hold the mask up to your face. So just hold it right up as if you're going to eat a sandwich. I'm going to reach around you and grab the strap. So what we do for a VO2 max test is what's called a graded exercise test. So this test always starts very easy. So Lindsay would do just a very light warm up on the bike, gradually getting her heart rate up, and just pedaling along super easy. And the way the graded exercise test works is what we'll do is about every 3 minutes we increase the resistance. And the whole point here is to gradually increase Lindsay's heart rate as she's working. And we're going to go until Lindsay's really had enough. Okay, and so we have certain things that we're looking for on the bike, maintaining a certain RPM. But we're going to go and we're going to see how high Lindsay's heart rate can go, as long as she's reasonably comfortable. And then we get there, when she's had enough, she'll say she's had enough, and we stop. And that will give us our VO2 max. We get a really cool detailed report on what her VO2 number is, her training zones for when she's exercising, and all kinds of great data that comes out of it. And the important thing is that now moving forward, Lindsay, when she's doing her exercise program, will know exactly what she needs to be doing, where her heart rate needs to be, so she's as efficient as possible and taking great use of her time when she's in the gym, as opposed to just kind of floundering around.
Yeah, this is amazing. I love that this technology exists, and you can find it here at ACAC and meet with you, learn more about using this, and actually get your own health back on track the right way by getting your exact numbers.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much for showing us how it works. We appreciate that. And this segment of Showcase is brought to you by ACAC.